Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City. In this video, I'll share why and how I created custom base plates for my Lego city, specifically the metro section of Small Brick City, which is what you see in front of you right here. This is a small part of a metropolitan city, and my main city is actually behind on 4 levels, which you see right here. That is Brick Beach, that is the Uptown, and above it we have the Highlands. And what you don't see, that's actually all the way below and in the cupboard below the main shelf, and that's my underwater display. Now those were all custom built, so everything you see here in front of that brick wall is custom built to size, so it fits regular Lego base plates. They measure 7 base plates wide and it's 2.5 base plates deep, so everything fits really well. For Metro City, which is this section over here, this is built on a off-the-shelf table. So it's not custom built, and therefore obviously the sizes aren't perfect for Lego. It's really 2 1/4 base plates wide, or deep maybe. And that's why you can see I'm using 2 standard road plates over here. This is the main street, and the standard road plate is 32 by 32 studs. And the 1/4 studs which I've created, or 1/4 of a base plate that I've put in place, are 8 studs by 16 studs and 8 studs by 16 studs, so 2 mini base plates to form the remaining section. And these are standard Lego base plates. They came with a lot of the older sets, but they're not so common now, and you would have to get them on the secondary markets as I did. But I put them in to fill up the space. If I left these blank like that, that would look really odd in a Lego city layout, and I didn't like that. So I have a bunch of these smaller base plates to fill in the space. Now the issue is, what does kind of complete the layout, there's no continuity for the roads. It's fine if you build your own roads and you use tiles to build brick-built roads, but in a case like this, the lines of the roads obviously are gone and it doesn't make sense. I do use the smaller base plates for my back alleys, for example between this brick bank and my train station. But that works in my opinion because that's a back alley. It's not really the main road, so it can have this kind of a rougher texture. That's kind of expected for a back alley. But for the main roads, such as this part of the main street, and even over here on this side where I've placed the smaller base plates as well, there isn't that continuity. So what I did was to create custom base plates out of legitimate official Lego base plates, and this is what I did. I took standard 32 by 32 stud base plates and I had them precision cut so that they are 8 studs wide. And this was a road plate that I cut, and for each 32 by 32 stud base plate, I can get only 3 8 stud wide base plates due to the material loss when it's cut, and I'll explain how they're made later. I am only left with 3. The last one would be much shorter, maybe 6 studs, so that doesn't really work. And I did one for a green base plate as well. But let me show you how this works. Now I can remove these small base plates, and of course I'll replace the traffic light later as well. And I can replace these 2 small base plates with one of these road plates, and this was from a 4 road intersection, and this fits really well if I do something like this. And now you can see there's this visual continuity, and there's even a pedestrian walk for the minifigs to go across. And the same for this side over here. I can remove these 2 base plates and I can replace them with an identical sort of custom base plate, and I put it just like that. Notice how everything lines up nicely on both sides of the lines, and I get a pedestrian walk as well. And this really now makes this entire display so good. Now of course, if you have a table which fits perfectly in terms of standard base plates, such as half base plates or full base plates, you don't have to worry about this. There are a lot of A4s who would use custom ply sheets, and they will mount them on off-the-shelf tables so that they can get the right size. I didn't want to do that personally because I wanted to have a very nice finished look for my table to match the rest of the furniture in my house. So that's why I came up with this solution instead. But I'm pretty happy with that. Now let me show you what I did with the green base plate. What you're about to see is my park area that's adjacent to my main street and directly across from my train station and behind the bus stop, which is right here. It's an open space and a park connector that really connects the main street to the next road over the other block. And this area is supposed to be some greenery. There's a playground, there are benches all around, and just a nice green space for people to hang out in the heart of the city. Now originally I had grey base plates, the small ones as well, in the middle, but what I did was I cut the green base plate, or a standard green base plate, to form the small base plates as well. In this case I had 3 of these. As I mentioned, I can get 3 out of a standard base plate, and I placed it in between the 2 green plates. The building in front is a detective's office, and as I mentioned in a previous update, I actually switched the plates from a brown to a green, so I get this whole nice greenery. And what this means is the church sits on its own large base plate, and the other side, if we were to look at the city from the other side where you see the church, it's completely green. So I've now got a whole green width of this entire table, and that was again possible because of these custom-made base plates. Now the question is, how did I make these base plates? The way I made the base plates is relatively simple, but you do need specialized tools, which might be difficult for most people. In my professional work, I design theatrical props for magicians and illusionists, and I do have access to a full-service workshop with all kinds of equipment to basically fabricate props out of wood, metal, or plastic. And therefore, I brought it to my guy who used a table saw to cut the plates. And this is an industrial table saw with a precision guide, and he could precisely measure the base plates and to cut them to the exact size I needed. And I brought one of these small base plates as a guide for him in terms of the width. And basically he just used his blade. Now here you have to use the thinnest blade possible so that you do not crack the plastic of the base plate. But with the right tools and with someone who knows how to do it, you can easily make these base plates. If you do want to make these base plates, you do have to look around for a workshop. You could check out a college or a professional workshop and see if they'll help you cut these base plates if you were to need them. Or maybe you need a base plate of a very specific size to match your table. You can get that done easily as well. The thing is, most people generally would not think about cutting an official base plate, especially if they do not have the tools available. But it's really not that difficult if you can find a workshop to do it for you. And if you really want to make a custom Lego city that fits your table space, this is one possible route you can go. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was useful for you if you want to create custom base plates for your Lego city. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.